Okay, so our last little example then is just to generate some random values. We're going to use these a few times later on in the course, and they're quite useful. So in order to generate random numbers, we can use an extra package. So we saw Turtle as a package that we could use. There's a package called random, and we can import this randint as a thing that generates random numbers, and it'll generate numbers between the values that the user chooses. Okay, so if I run that, let's just run it and see it working. And you say what the numbers are, the minimum and the maximum. So if I say, if I want random numbers between 1 and 10, set 10, and I get 4 numbers between 1 and 10. Okay, and you can see it's different every time. So that was running, it was running another time, and here's one between 1 and 100. So every time the user chooses what the minimum and maximum is, and it'll generate 4 random numbers. That's going to be quite useful for some of our other programs. Notice again the use of the F string here to print them out. Okay, so I just wanted to introduce that, and we'll use that again and again in some later lectures. Okay, so what have we seen today? We've seen the idea of variables. We've seen how you create them, how you assign them using the equal sign, if you remember, and how you name them. So there's rules and there's conventions. We've seen about data types. So we've just dealt with strings and integers, but we've seen how you can convert from from a string to an integer using int, and from an integer to a string using str, string. We've seen operators. So in this case, we just saw the plus symbol for strings allows you to glue strings together. The plus, minus, times, and divide. We didn't use divide, but it's just the slash symbol you can use to manipulate numbers. And then we looked at some examples of how we put those things together. So working with strings and integers in different ways. We saw a very basic calculator. We'll do more with that next week. And we saw how to generate random numbers.